Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Hello and welcome to Too Old for This Shite with our not new format, but kind of like our side episode called Shite Talk. Or Talking Shite, I don't know, we haven't decided yet. But this is just to kick off the week and to give us a chance to do something else other than having a deep dive into movies, which we normally do. If you haven't listened to our podcast before, I'm Wayne, that's Laura.
Hello.
And we normally do like deep dives or try and analyse movies that probably other podcasts might forget or would normally not get
just aren't bothered with.
Yeah, just aren't bothered with. So yeah, like what we have coming up this week will be Hamburger Hill, which is a forgotten Vietnam movie based on a true story. So we get into that a lot more. So if you're into war movies, it's like in Hot Rod. If you're into uncles,
terminally ill uncles,
terminally ill, yeah,
stepdads, yeah.
Yeah, go over there. And as well, because it's kind of, it's not hard listening, it's very enjoyable listening. But the movie itself is kind of hard going. And I have to
because of it, it's just a tough subject, like, obviously,
because I suppose not depressed after it, but because it was like, fuck, that was a bit hard going.
It's just brutal, yeah.
And normally we talk about shite like Maximum Overdrive or like,
so it's the harsh realities of war.
So then the week after will be Hot Rod. So what we're aiming to do is every 2 weeks with this, or whenever we feel like. So some weeks it might be every week, depending on what we're after looking at. Or
some weeks it might be every week.
Some week. Yeah, it's like 90% of the time it fails.
Every time.
But yeah, it's just a lot more
loose.
Yes.
Not that we ever had structure.
Yeah. So I suppose to kick it off, start talking about some of the things that we're kind of excited about, upcoming movies and things that we've seen. One of the first things, it's a fellow Irishman, at least I think he's Irish, is Lee Cronin's The Mummy. So,
as in the horror, The Mummy, rather than, oh, my mummy and my daddy.
Oh, The Mummy. Lee Cronin's about, Lee, stop shitting on the carpet. I suppose the first trailer dropped for this a couple of weeks or maybe a few months ago, and it looked kind of fucked up, and it wasn't like, oh, it's like the normal Boris Karloff mummy going, oh, or Christopher Lee played him at one point, and then of course Arnold Vosloo,
yes,
with
Anooks on a moon,
yeah.
See, that's at least he had a catchphrase, like most, sort of zombies have.
I don't think that was his catchphrase.
Well, not catchphrase, but it's like that's the kind of thing that you can shout and you go, all right, that's that.
Yeah,
mummy.
He's shouting.
But like,
for
what do regular
wife.
mummies shout about? Like bandages.
They
got
most of their internal organs taken out, including their brains, like which they scooped out with like a little hook.
Yeah. For
some reason, but yeah, Lee Cronin's Mummy looks completely and utterly different. It seems to be about some guy's daughter got kidnapped 8 years ago. The trailer starts off with them getting news that she's been found, but she's been found in some fucking ancient sarcophagus where she's been mummified in it, but she's still alive, and there was like 57 other kids or something like that.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah, it sounds fucking mental.
Jesus.
Like, yeah. And then it
mummified but still alive, oh my god.
Yeah, so they have her brought home, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Pet Sematary, where she's obviously, and they're like, oh, you just have to be nice to your sister. She's been through a lot, but she's quite obviously like evil.
Alright.
But then so I think that's probably only going to be a very small part of the film, because like the ones that they do, normal thing with trailers nowadays, where at the end they do like quick flashing clips with it to show, hey, look, there's more to it than this. It's like demonic possession, fucking beetles crawling up through people's skin, and like fucking
scarabs, I presume.
Mommy,
yeah.
Mommy.
Hey, mommy.
And like another kid after being turned, like attacking, and some old guy going, it's fun to be dead. It looks mental. For people that don't, Lee Cronin, he directed the last Evil Dead movie, which was Evil Dead Rise, which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah.
He's let me see what else Lee Cronin's after doing, because I do know, but I can't think off the fucking top of my head because I'm just The Hole in the Ground.
Oh, that was quite good, actually. That
Very,
was kind of
very
I
good.
suppose, that obviously then that you've reminded me of that now. It seems to be like a similar kind of vein he's mining there as well, with The Hole in the Ground was that was nearly a Pet Cemetery type thing as well, wasn't it? No, I don't mean a Pet Cemetery, but it was along those kind of same
Yeah, it was
lines.
her daughter was after
Yeah.
being kidnapped by fairies, and it was this whole thing. What it was like, was she mad? Like they played that angle with it for what like was her daughter just or son? I can't remember. Normal, and she was like seeing things that she was suffering from fucking depression or something like that, and then it turned, oh no, the fairies did. So she goes down into the thing to try and rescue.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? There seems to be like a common thread with this whole thing of like, a child goes missing and is the child normal kind of a thing, Pet Cemetery type thing. So that seems to be
it looks like it's
something
gonna
that's
be fucking
close to his...
Yeah. Killer. Like, I think you need something like this to, like, when they tried to do the last Mummy film with Tom Cruise, like, I can see they were trying to go for an action adventure type thing, because, like, sure, why else would you get Tom Cruise involved in it anyway?
But
it just wasn't great. Like,
they did the best action adventure Mummy with...
that's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's when you have something that's already...
Yeah, Brendan Fraser and
near perfect. Where how
Arnold
can you
Vosloo
do?
and Rachel Weisz. Yeah,
that's meant to be coming back as well. They're meant to be doing a
Goody.
new one. I think all of them are back on board for it.
nice.
So yeah, well, like the other Mummy films were good. Mummy 2 was good. The Mummy 3 was at the Dragon one, the Emperor Dragon. I don't remember being very good. And then there was like the Scorpion King things, which were
Yeah, they were a
kind
bit
of awful as
brutal,
well.
all right, yeah. But no, I quite enjoyed the old Mummies.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's one to be looking out for. I'm really excited about that. And then as well, it just seemed to come out of nowhere. I heard of it and I thought, nah, maybe it's not, because you hear of Nicolas Cage being involved in a lot of different things, and some of them never really materialise. And then it seems like every second week there's a Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
But he's doing a TV series with Amazon where it's like based on Spider-Man Noir.
And this is the thing as well. You hear about these things and you kind of go, is this just the internet making stuff up that they'd like to hear? Is this just like the internet kind of like doing a whole Nicolas Cage meme? It's like, oh, this sounds like something mad that Nicolas Cage would do. And they're like, oh no, here it is. It's actually, here it comes. Like,
yeah, and like, I mean, it's not something I'm very familiar with. The character was in
Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, the animated ones, like, jeez, I can't remember the name of them, but they were,
Spider-Verse.
yeah, the Spider, yeah, that's, well, yeah, and he's kind of cool in it. I think Nicolas Cage voiced him in that, and then there was talk of, wouldn't it be cool if he was doing that. It was the same thing years ago where it was like, maybe Donald Glover could be Miles Morales. And for, like, when the Spider-Man films with, what's his face, the ones that are out now.
Garfield?
No, the next one's Tom Holland.
Oh, yeah.
It was like there was a lot of talk that...
Andrew Garfield. I just suddenly had a flash of Garfield the cat.
Yeah. I hate Mondays.
Yeah.
Emma Stone feeding him lasagna the whole time. But it was... now you're after putting me off. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, there was a lot of talk that Donald Glover was they were going to reboot the Spider-Man franchise with Miles Morales. But considering some of the horrible shit that you saw around, like there was a Spider-Man, Laura won't know this, there was a Spider-Man game came out on the PlayStation, right? It was really well received.
What do you mean I won't know this? I know there was a Spider-Man game on the PlayStation.
Miles Morales was in it as kind of a side character, and people were like, Grant. Then there was like a 1.5 game in between 1 and 2 that came out, and it was all about Miles Morales. People were like, that's not my Spider-Man. And like there was a lot of these fucking chuds on YouTube where it was like, there were like likes of Nerdrotic and fucking Critical Drinker, where they were using this as like, that's not my Spider-Man thing. There's quite obviously a bit of racism in it, like where it's like, no, Spider-Man has to be white Peter Parker. And it's like, Miles Morales isn't the Spider-Man, he is a Spider-Man. There's loads of different Spider-Man. Miles Morales' character is really, really cool. Anyway, and it's the character that's in the Spider-Verse, I think. Is it? Is that Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse?
That's one of the ones we watched anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe
Miles
we fell
Morales.
into the
I can't
multiverse.
remember. I love the animation in it. And then
you were too busy
I
drooling over that, yeah.
About
you didn't
story.
pay attention to the story at all, yeah.
But yeah, and it's No, I can't do whatever. But Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah.
It seems a bit strange to me because I'm not familiar with the character, so I don't know if he's like older or what. But apparently, just looking at the thing is, what is Spider-Man Noir? He's a burnt-out private eye forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only true superhero. So, it looks interesting. There's some of the de-aging effects that are on Nicolas Cage that are a bit jarring. And it's like, I don't think you need to do the de-aging things because he looks alright anyway. You know?
Alright. Yeah, he's fairly fresh-faced. It's not as if he's some decrepit.
But like, if you're doing it as someone who's meant to be a bit older anyway, like, does it really matter if they're like, say, 28 as opposed to
48,
50, whatever, you know? I don't know.
So
but
you're
I
just
think
saying
that's
that because you're like, I look young, don't I? And you're like, yes.
I'm still cool.
Yeah.
I'm still with the kids. But that's the only gripe that I'd have with looking where I think, because that fucking The Irishman, Martin Scorsese's film, quite like that. Thought it was probably a bit too fucking long, but all the de-aging stuff that they did was just like, I couldn't look at it again because it's just like, look, you look at a Scorsese film as much for the visuals as the story and the acting and everything else, and with that stuff it's just like, I don't know, it just takes you out of it, where it's just like you just get too and it's going to be that like 90s 3D CGI stuff that
like, in fairness, if you want to de-age someone, all you need to do is like change the costume, change the hairstyle, and maybe slap a small bit of foundation on. You don't need to go mad with the CGI. Like, it's just it's a hint of like, oh look, this is like back in the 20s as opposed to the 50s. Whole thing.
It's the suspension of disbelief, which I think some filmmakers are forgetting about now. Probably because a lot of people are being told by Hollywood executives, definitely Netflix executives, the audience is stupid. You need to do this and you need to do that. So it's like they can't possibly take themselves out of and go, oh, this is a film. So everything has to be like Netflix. I think are ruining things, but that's a rant for another day.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it looks interesting. It looks like it's Nicolas Cage doing his thing,
as only Nicolas Cage can.
Yeah, I don't think he's. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's ever done like a TV series, has he?
I don't know. Actually, I'll have to have a think.
Like, maybe
that.
he might have popped up in like the odd episode of something here and there, like The Simpsons or something. But you know, I don't think there's ever been a TV series where
he's been part of.
Yeah, so he's quite.
There'll
obviously
probably be
like
something really obvious we're forgetting about now. Waiting, you see. But
and this is probably only after getting made because he's probably showed interest in it after doing the voice for it, because it was the same when he was like, remember the whole Superman thing, and there's like a documentary about it called The Life and Death of Superman, I think, or I fucking can't remember, but it's like about Kevin Smith was going to originally direct it and he wrote it, and then it was Tim Burton and Nicolas Cage was basically playing Superman in it, and there's Kevin Smith did a big talk about it, that like the guy he was like that wanted, the producer on it was like, I want like a giant mechanical spider in it. And they were like, that's fucking. And then like when the film flopped afterwards, Wild Wild West came out.
Wiki Wiki Wow Wow.
It was a big fucking giant mechanical spider was the thing at the end of it. But yeah, I think it looks interesting. It'll be something to worth watching anyway.
Exactly.
It might be an oddity, but yeah, we'll see. That means he's played Ghost Rider, Superman,
Spider-Man now.
Spider-Man. Has there been any other I think that he might have played. I don't know.
He's played Nicolas Cage as well, who was a bit of a superhero, really.
Yeah.
Face Off.
But I never said what our main topic is later on. It's going to be about Shelby Oaks and why most reviewers are wrong about it.
Yes.
But yeah, anyway, and then the other trailer and the other thing that I'm quite excited about, and you're definitely excited about.
Oh, super excited.
Is Jorma Taccone. That's how you pronounce his second name?
I think
so. From Lonely Island.
Yes.
His new thing is Over Your Dead Body. Stars Samara Weaving, Jason Segel and Timothy Oliphant, and a bunch of other people seem to be popping up in the trailer. Trailer looks quite funny. It seems to be about a husband who's after deciding he's going to murder his wife, but she figures it out, so she's going to murder him. And then
it's just basically dark humour the whole way through. So
Yeah, it looks quite fun. Juliette Lewis, I said Jason Segel.
Yeah.
Keith Jardine. He was the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine. Or he was in the first Ultimate Fighter.
All right. Yes, I do actually.
Yes.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
But I'm very much looking forward to it. I really like Samara Weaving as well. She is just like bizarrely hilarious as well in any film she's in.
A canary down a fucking coal mine, isn't she? Where if
As
you
in,
see
like,
her in a film, you kind of go, it's probably going to be good.
Excellent. Yeah, exactly. She's just got this weird deadpan kind of humor about herself as well. She's kind of borderline psychotic characters is what she tends to excel in playing, but like these sort of like really sort of like intense fucking like oh my god, don't cross her.
Of course she's like the niece of Hugo Weaving.
Yes, so obviously acting runs in the blood there as well.
Yeah, she was in Home and Away originally. She was one of those people, and like so was Isla Fisher. There's fucking Chris Hemsworth, I think. Was
sure, there was a whole ton of them came out of Home and Away. Seems to be like the training ground for Australia.
Neighbours.
Yeah.
But
although I think Neighbours is finished now, I think.
No, it's after coming back.
Oh, is it?
I think it's like an Amazon.
God, it's fucking more resurrections like than Jesus Christ at this stage.
Well, Jesus only had the one resurrection.
I suppose,
Well, apart from the one now, where he's walking the earth, sowing mistrust and evil to get revenge on humanity. But it looks really good, and as well, I think if it was another director after doing it, probably wouldn't be interested in looking at it.
You wouldn't be as excited, but because it's Jorma Tacconi, I should really learn how to actually pronounce his name. But absolutely, just magic touch for everything. I think as regards that,
it's going to be funny.
It's right up our alley as
Hopefully
regards to
it's
humor.
going to be funny, because like MacGruber.
Yeah.
So
Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that any of these guys touch is just like, I know it's going to be our fucking sense of humor. Exactly, like, you know.
And as well, one of the things that I'm really excited about is that I think there's talk either over the next couple of weeks, the first trailer for the new Evil Dead film, Evil Dead Burn, is going to come out. There's no talk of what it's about yet at all. But it's quite obviously got to do with fucking fire because it's called Burn. And they're starting to shoot the next
and maybe
Evil
it's
Dead
just
movie
like
already.
sick burns. Maybe it's just people doing
it might be
terrible insults.
The Evil Dead, as a fucking what did they call it?
Like a rap battle or something like that.
Yeah, what's it? Oh, what did they call the things like the not burns, like where they do the roasts?
All right,
comedy roast, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited about that, and as well the whole fact that they're doing another one fairly quickly, so probably the next one might come out next year.
Yeah,
or
there might be a bit of momentum with it.
Yeah, and like the Evil Dead franchise is probably one of the only franchises that doesn't really have a weak entry in it at all. Like all the movies are good. Like what people thought was a remake, and then it was like, oh, it's not a remake at all. It's actually part of the same universe.
Yeah.
Was like the way that they kind of explained it away was like, oh, there's actually different Necronomicons scattered around, so they do different things and they cause different things, which I think was the smart way to do for people.
You can pop it up like anywhere you want and do anything you want.
Yeah, and you can have crossovers, so you never know, like chances of Ash popping up.
That's what I was going to say. Still though, it's like you're still not going to surpass the Bruce Campbell ones, though.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, I don't think.
But him popping up in it, because he's pretty much after saying, like, I'm done with Ash. Like he's getting old, like, you know, and fucking like Ash.
I'm sure he's made
his
money and all the rest, and he's quite happy with his life. You know?
Yeah.
He always seems like a guy who's just at home wearing Hawaiian shorts and lounging on a beach or something like that.
But like there was like the cameo of him in the last one where they were like playing the record. That was like from fucking whatchamacallit, the Middle Ages, and you can hear Ash's voice in the background going kind of like, "You fools! It's called the Book of the Dead for a reason."
Yeah.
So with that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Getting into ranting.
Okay, I'll let you do your rant.
Well, actually, no. Before we do that, like, what have we been watching? I suppose we can't talk too much about. Well, not like it's a fucking secret. But we kind of got caught up watching the Traitors over the last while.
The various ones as well. We started off watching the English one.
So it was 4 seasons.
Yeah, and because we wanted to watch the Irish one as well.
Yeah.
And now we've discovered there's like Traitors Australia Traitors like Netherlands, Traitors Canada.
Avoid them for a while.
Traitors everywhere, basically, yeah.
And it was like, that was coming off the back of looking at America's Next Top Model. thing, but I think that was just from season 15 or something like that. It was like the later ones because they started showing it on Channel 4 and we picked up kind of from there and we never went back looking at the
original one. Yeah, because we would have watched it back in the 2000s when it was actually airing live.
Yeah.
So we would have kind of watched it then, really, I suppose, just as sort of like mindless TV to sort of throw on every now and again. So kind of we would have kept up with it sort of like in real time back in the day.
So we've been on a reality
TV binge.
And as well, I suppose one of the things we'll talk about in a minute as well, like there was Netflix's new documentary about America's Next Top Model just came out. But yeah, with the Traitors, I'd imagine it seems to be everyone looks at it.
Has watched at least one series of it somewhere already.
I thought it was going to be awful, but it's fucking brilliant. It's really addictive. And like the English one is good. Like we lived in England for a while. It's very English. People are kind of polite.
Yeah.
Around things. It's not too backstabby.
Yeah.
You kind of root for people. Then compare that to the Irish one.
Everyone just bursts out in rows.
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments, an awful lot of arguments. People don't seem to be caught up too much with finding traitors as opposed to getting rid of people they don't like.
Yeah, if you're somebody's friend, it's like, we'll just gang together, we'll form a little gang and we're just going to have fucking stand-up rows of people we don't like kind of a thing. Yeah.
It's fucking insane. Like, I think it's probably a good depiction of Irish people because a lot of people from outside of Ireland are like, oh, the Irish are so friendly and they're this and that.
There's an awful lot of swearing, which I used to give out because when we were living in England, people would be kind of like, oh my God, you swear an awful lot. And I'm like, no, I fucking don't. How dare you fucking say that to me?
Yeah, it's part of our culture.
Yeah, and now listening to it, you're kind of like, wow, Irish people do swear an awful lot.
Like, compared to the English one, it was hyper aggressive.
Yeah, like, and there was an awful lot of, you see, I think the trouble was there was an awful lot of fellas on that were like, they were doing the whole sort of like,
there's a lot of pricks on.
There was an awful lot of aggressive guys that they just wouldn't back down from an argument. Like a lot of the English ones, somebody might say something a bit sarky or whatever, and people are just like, yeah, whatever, and they brush it off just to keep the peace, or they'd be trying to play the game and be a little bit smart about it. Whereas somebody would say something here and to be reared up, like, what are you fucking saying about me?
None of the fellas on it as well, they were worth a slap. Like that fucking, there was 2 fucking tools that got near the end of it that were traitors. Sorry, spoilers in case people look. But they were the biggest fucking knobs on the face of the planet. They were the kind of fellas that you could see, like one of them was an estate agent. The other fella was in the armed forces. The armed forces in Ireland aren't like in other fucking countries. They basically do nothing. Kind of with it. Sometimes they're peacekeeping force. And then they give out because, oh my God, someone shot like, a half a mile away from us. Make me very unpopular. I hope there's not like some Rambo type kind of out there.
Just coming round to shoot.
But like, I mean, that's the joke in Ireland because they had a group of them had like a lawsuit in years ago about that their ears were damaged from gunshots.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you are in the army, you expect gunshots. But yeah, well, that's the thing.
Saying that, I just want to say one thing before we move on from saying that the Irish Rangers, they're some of the best special forces in the world.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. Yeah.
And I'm only kind of like joking with the fucking thing. But the estate agent fella, fucking dickhead. Like, he fucking full of himself, thought that he was really smart. Fucking idiot. Out and out. At the end of the day...
Well, of course, everything is all edited to make people look like that.
No, they fucking voted out someone that would have voted with him.
Yeah.
So it put him in a situation where they were outnumbered 3-2, and then they were surprised that they got voted out.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose, yeah.
Oh, they were fucking food. But it is, for people, it's worth watching just to see... To fucking, and people really take it personally.
Oh God, yeah, that's like, I mean, that's what actually got to me. On any of the English Traitor series, people at the end, they were like, when they had to stand up and give their final little goodbye kind of thing, they're like, oh, I love you all, and I know it's just part of the game. I made some great friends here, and like, no hard feelings, and yes, I am a faithful kind of thing. Yeah, they're all bun, and like, I hate you all, and you're all mean people, and fuck you all. I was a faithful, and fuck you. I hope none of you.
I'll fucking get you.
The bitterness. Like, oh my God.
But go from that thing, we were looking at the documentary about America's Next Top Model, and it's kind of been pushed because there's a lot being said about America's Next Top Model over the years. But Tyra Banks has never really done anything kind of like coming out defending herself. Yeah,
or even coming out to apologise for how some of the things went down on it.
So this, like, it starts off like a puff piece about, oh, how great am I, and like there's a few bad things in it. Now there's a hell of a lot more, like way worse. Like some of the shit that happened that they highlight on the documentary series, it's bad. Like it's really really
Very
bad.
bad,
But
yeah.
there was like a lot of other really bad things
that
which are-
weren't brought to light, or
Yeah.
they were glossed over and stuff
which
like
are
that.
well known. Like
Yeah.
there was a whole thing about one girl that she won one series and they took it away from her because they found out that she was
Well, I think they said that she was like, she was they were trying to
escort.
say she was an escort, that she
turned
was
out
working
she
in
was
a club.
people trafficked,
Yeah.
or person trafficked. I don't know what this is.
The correct terminology.
Yeah, it was like horrible, like what happened to
Yeah.
her. But they just stripped it away from her and they made her out to be like this really bad person in it. But the reason why she ended up fucking falling into people trafficking was because she was on a previous season, and when she was finished with it, she couldn't get work anywhere, and she used to work in a bank or something like that. And she couldn't get a job, and because of being on the fucking show, so she ended up kind of getting, like, look it up and read about it. But
Yeah.
they don't cover any of that stuff on it.
Yeah, they kind of skip through all the serious, horrible shit.
Yeah.
They don't have any of the models on that like got really fucked over by it and all the
Yeah.
rest. They have a few models on that kind of had, I suppose, some of the milder cases. I don't want to say mild because none of them are mild.
Yeah, well,
like,
there's one that basically, like, she seems to be kind of fucking kind of slept with without her consent.
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was a
thing
shandy,
that
yeah.
It's like, what-
she got so badly drunk that basically she was taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Like she was, there's
the production crew didn't step in.
Yeah,
It
they
was all
filmed and they
filmed
aired
this.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, they had a bunch of guys back in the house,
Hmm.
and basically she was so drunk there was no consent there whatsoever.
Yeah.
And like this whole thing aired. She had a boyfriend back home,
Yeah.
and of course the whole thing was it was aired all over America. And the way it was spun, it was like, oh, look at her, she cheated on her boyfriend.
And they
She's a
filmed her,
slag. She's
yeah,
a cheater. She's
ringing up the boyfriend.
Yeah, and
it's-
having a nervous breakdown over it. Like.
Yeah, it's horrible. Apparently,
is
there's
horrible.
a GoFundMe that fans are after setting up for her.
Yeah.
Now, which I think is quite nice.
It is,
But
yeah.
it's-
It seems so. Like, I mean, even looking at her now, it has ruined her whole life. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't ever seem to have recovered
Well, a lot
from
of
it.
them, nearly all of them are saying
Yeah.
they couldn't get into the modeling industry afterwards because it was like you're
It was
a pariah
deemed as
for doing it.
toxic. Like,
But I think it's worth watching for, but it does seem to be that it's curated probably by Tyra Banks and the people that are on it. Because she makes mention of, you haven't seen anything yet at the end of it.
Yeah, wait for season 25, so-
which I suspect Netflix are after buying the rights to America's Next Top Model.
and
This
they're
is their
going to
way,
start making it.
yeah, where
drumming
Tyra
up
Banks will come
interest.
back and say, look, we made a lot of mistakes in the past. This is
We're
what
going
we're
to do it
now.
right this
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I suspect it's just a very clever marketing,
Yeah, a very cynical sort of way
yeah.
of getting eyes back on it again and drumming up interest.
which kind of irritated me
Hmm.
a little bit kind of near the end, because like it goes, for the first time she's going to
Yeah.
we're going to put all these accusations at her. And it's like, and then when they do put somebody out, she's like, I don't really want to talk about that. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it is we spoke about it before in another podcast, but it is like you forget how things were back in the late 90s, like I would have been teenager, late teens, early 20s at that stage, and you forget how toxic the culture was.
Oh yeah,
back
yeah,
then.
it was really bad.
Oh my
like,
fucking God.
That's what people give out about, like newer generations and stuff, and
Yeah.
they kind of like, I do think like generation Z, Y, whatever the fucking they're old, and
Z
like
and A,
they're
yeah. Alpha.
kind of nicer. Like I mean, no generation is perfect. Obviously, everyone has their own things because of like environmental kind of issues and stuff. But they do seem to be a lot more tolerant. There is a lot more.
Yeah,
Which
it's acceptance and positivity
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Whereas back then you were coming off the back of heroin chic and all the rest, and it
Yeah.
was, like Jesus. I grew up and I was a chubby fat teenager. And my God, that was not the time to grow up a chubby fat teenager, good, bad, or indifferent.
Like it was size zero.
hell.
Well, wasn't there a 0, 0? I think,
Oh yeah,
as well?
double zero
Yeah.
size, yeah, and that was like the fucking goal was to be like, it was like no arse, it was to be skinny, skinny, skinny. It was like, straight up and down. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way to anyone who was skinny or anything like that. That was the absolute goal, was to be heroin chic, and that was
Yeah.
it. And
So it's
I
for
was not
designers,
that.
kind of like
Yeah.
part of it, I think it was because for the dresses, it was like easier to make the dresses
Exactly,
kind of
yeah,
like
that's
that
it,
instead
yeah.
of actually making them to have like follow curves. So it's easier just to have them like they're hanging on a rail kind of like. But
Yeah.
but like that. it's well worth a watch, I think, for anyone that's after following America's Next Top Model. But I think anyone that's probably followed it, they'll be aware of all the controversies. Tyra Banks doesn't say other than kind of like, the most she says on certain things is kind of like, oh, well, I regret that with hindsight.
Yeah.
But
it was a different time back then. Yeah.
Yeah. Going from that thing is what we're looking at the moment. We're kind of halfway through it because we got caught up. I started looking at it before we started looking at the Traitors.
Yeah, and then you went down, you were like, let's watch all of the Traitors.
Yeah. Welcome to Derry.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant. Won't get into it because I don't want to give any spoilers away for people. But if you're a fan of the remakes or any of Stephen King stuff, watch it. It's very Dark Tower-like.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of things into it from other books.
There doesn't seem to be any expense spared either as well. For a TV show, it's
amazing.
Fucking the special effects and all the rest. Yeah. Jesus Christ, it is like Hollywood film
It's like
level.
a TV. It's directed, well, the showrunner on it is Andy Muschietti, who did the remakes of it. It's got that style to it, but it seems to also have that budget to it. It gives like a bit of the backstory of it, which if you read the books you'd be familiar with but it's cool to see it happening on screen, and there's a little bit extra to it as well, but it feels very much like the Dark Tower thing. And like there's, well, I suppose it's not spoiling anything either, but like Dick Hallorann from The Shining and other Stephen King books is in it as well. There's a lot of different people pop up and things that you kind of go, oh yeah, that's
that name and that's what he is.
I think they're going to have more kind of things going back into the past. I'm convinced one of the characters that they showed in it was Flag when they were doing a flashback, which it's just, but I think there's bits and pieces like that put in there. Apparently it's got a second season, which we haven't seen the first season yet, so I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it because it's a really interesting world. But I suppose now going on to our main thing, which kind of ties into what we've been looking at as well, was Shelby Oaks. People unfamiliar with it, it's a horror movie directed by a YouTuber, quite well-known YouTuber who used to do movie reviews, still does movie reviews, called Chris Duckman. He crowdfunded this. Took him ages to do it. He got it made. Then, speaking of Stephen King, my God.
Basically, he got kind of endorsed, really, I suppose. Did he?
What's his name? Who's after doing all the Stephen King fucking adaptations?
What?
God. Oh my God. Mike Flanagan.
All right.
Yeah. He saw it and his company picked it up and gave a little bit more money to do a few more bits and pieces with it and distribute it. So it's produced by his company. So it got a theatre release, which is a big deal.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
To get a theatre release nowadays, especially for an independent movie. But I think because it was directed by Chris Duckman, it got mixed. Like, I suppose that's putting it mildly. You had a lot of YouTubers who were like, without shitting on the movie, they were like saying, "Oh, it's great to see this happening." And then people were like, "Oh, they're only giving that a good review because they're YouTubers and they don't want to piss him off." As if he has any control. He seems like a really nice guy. I've been following him for years. I don't think there was any of that. I think people were genuinely like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And it is a fucking big deal. And then there was like this reaction to it because people seemed to like it, where you had a lot of people shitting on it, tearing it apart.
Just to be contrarian, I suppose.
Yeah, so I think most of the reviews that you will see if you type in like review Shelby Oaks, they're quite negative. Personally, I thought it was great.
I enjoyed
it, yeah.
See, I didn't know any of the background to it. You were just like, we're watching this, and I was like, yeah, cool, grand, whatever. And I just sat down and I was like, this is a good horror film. I quite enjoyed it, yeah.
Now, kind of without giving anything, there's not going to be any spoilers in this for it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an exciting movie.
I didn't know where it was going. Yeah, there's a couple of twists in it that I was like, jeez, I didn't see that coming.
I didn't get up for an hour. I was dying for a drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not.
He kept waiting and kept waiting.
I don't want to miss.
Yeah.
Because the story moves at a quick pace. And it's just good. It's really exciting.
I think it does the Blair Witch thing better than Blair Witch did as well,
much
because
better,
it's intercut with like found footage as such, air quotes found footage.
It starts off, this is the thing, which it's not going to be a spoiler with it, this is all out there. It starts off with found footage about these group of YouTubers that went missing years ago. They
were doing kind of like paranormal investigations kind of thing. And that was their thing. They had... Yeah.
It's like a true crime documentary is being done about it.
Yeah.
And then something happens, and then it cuts into movie. So it goes from found footage into actual movie of what's happening in real time. And it's I think some people were a bit annoyed about that. I thought it was really good, a really smart thing to do, brave thing to do, because you kind of basically changed the genre of the movie.
Yeah.
So people were going into it like found footage movie fans. Then all of a sudden they're like, this isn't.
Yeah, this is a movie documentary kind of thing.
That's just the intro to the movie.
Yeah.
It goes on for about 20 minutes maybe, I think, of that.
Yeah. And there's the occasional kind of, obviously it goes back to the found footage when they're, kind of reviewing a few bits and pieces.
But it kind of goes to... Oh, Jesus, what else? What? It's like the sister of one of the YouTubers someone missing. She's looking for her sister. So it's her kind of thing with it.
Her journey trying to find her sister,
It's done really, really well. It's shot fucking... I think it looks like a really well polished film. This doesn't... I think this is where people get a little bit confused. It doesn't look like an indie movie. It doesn't behave like an indie movie. It is an indie movie. So I think instead, where I think people are wrong about it, instead of judging it on a fucking big Hollywood movie that's like got a load of professional people in it, and that they're like after putting 100 million into it, you have to realise that this was a film that was made for, I think, $1 million by a first time movie maker and a team of people that
actors,
aren't like
small time actors. They're not professional actors as such.
It looks fucking... We've seen a lot of indie movies over the years. Fucking go and look at some things that are on Shudder, or other places, and like they're good movies, but like there's other things that they look like they're done with a fucking camcorder. They're really like things like Velociraptor, that fucking the Asylum movies. There's a lot of movies that look like fucking dog shit that are made for more money than this, and they're terrible. It's got like, it's really engaging, like I was saying. It's exciting. There's a lot of scary moments in it.
The acting is quite good.
It's the acting, I think, is quite good.
It's not your sort of your amateur hour down the sort of local theatre or anything like that by any stretch of the imagination. It's believable. It's emotional. It's a sort of human drama interspersed with horror.
And the story is good. The story is quite good, and as well, kind of like the story unfold, and you kind of figure it out fairly handy, like what's going on. But I think it could have nearly... Probably if it was made by someone with a bit more experience, or there was more money involved in it and there could be more writers, they could have done it like an A24 movie nearly type of a thing, where you could have been questioning, is there an actual supernatural element to it? And there seems to be, I don't know, to me it felt like there was hints at maybe like familial abuse going on, and that like, that you could say, oh, maybe this is a metaphor for this and that. But yeah, I thought it was really good, really enjoyed it, definitely look at it again. It's not the best movie you'll ever see, but this is where I think, like I was saying, people are judging it too harshly. I think it should be judged on the thing that this isn't an independent movie, so fucking treat it like it.
Yeah. And I think, it hits sort of a lot of different sort of beats that, sort of depending on your interest in movies as well. Like there's the found footage bit, there's the sort of the abandoned town bit, there's the fairground bit, there's the, sort of the weird family bit, there's the childhood trauma bit, there's a load of different sort of tropes thrown into one film. It kind of feels
like a survival horror game at times. And I think the pacing to it is a little bit like that, because there's not really a fucking pause. And things, it like goes from one scene to another scene with something bad happening, or kind of like there's a lot of tension in it, where you're kind of like, something is going to fucking happen.
Yeah, you're kind of like, as you said, you didn't want to stand up and go get a drink because you're like, oh, I have to see this bit, hang on a bit, I have to see this bit, Jesus, what's happening here, kind of a thing. So you're on the edge of your seat the whole time waiting to see what happens, and you're reluctant to actually leave the room and just break the sort of the scene, There is an awful lot, and like I think some people, probably because they don't like Chris Stuckman, or I think there is probably an element there as well where it's nearly exploiting it,
where they're like, oh hey, look, fucking people are talking about this at the moment. If we do a negative review of it, we'll get views and we'll get clicks and so forth. And it's just like, fuck off. You know, like there was people shitting all over him a while ago because he decided
I still have no idea who he is.
Anyway. You'd know him before I put him on. Like, you'd know him. I've had him on at times. He finishes off this thing with, like, gets duckmanized.
Oh, I still don't know who that is. Go on anyway.
But he decided a long time ago that he wasn't going to do negative reviews of film. And it's basically just not cover films that he doesn't like. Because, as well, there was part, he was like, after trying to get a film made, I can see how hard it is. And
what's the point in tearing down someone else's hard work and dreams?
Which partially I agree with, to a certain extent, where it's like, say if someone is after going off and they're after putting a lot of love into it, like, you look at, say, Peter Jackson's Bad Taste and stuff, that took him years to make on zero budget. There's like fucking heads made out of paper mache, latex masks that he was after making on his own. It ended up becoming a cult classic, and look where he is now with stuff. But if you were to like critically examine any of those movies, you'd be like, oh, the cinematography is shit, the sound is shit, it's just a bad movie, this guy should never make films again. And it's like, people need space to learn and
learn
improve
their craft, exactly.
And like, I mean, if this is Chris Duckman's first film,
where can he go with?
Yeah, I think he's got like a very bright future as a director.
What year was this?
It was only last year.
Yeah, so give him room to breathe.
But like, you got the guy, I didn't realise it until like the guys that directed Bring Her Back and the other fucking film with the hand.
Oh yeah.
In it, they're YouTubers as well.
Yeah.
And then you got like Markiplier. I used to look at him years ago. I didn't realise he was after getting his massive as he is. He's after doing another movie, but people are more positive about this one because people like Markiplier more, and they're like, oh, it's fantastic that he's it. Now, he's one of the ones that'd be up there with like PewDiePie, with like fucking a multi-millionaire. So he funded the film himself.
Oh, how bad.
So now, if it was someone that they didn't like, I'd imagine that people would be, oh, it's a vanity project because he stars in it as well. But because they like him, they're saying, oh, it's actually really good, and it's really good to see someone like him going on making movies. Haven't seen it yet, but it's just, I think there's a double standard for it, where it's like, you're not comparing like with like.
Yeah, apples to oranges as such. Yeah.
So, and like, I mean, we'll say, like, the end of the movie is a bit film studenty, as in you kind of go, but then again, the movie was written ages ago, and maybe screenwriting isn't his forte, but directing, you know, I think sometimes it takes people a while to kind of go, oh, maybe we need people in to help with scripts, or
give it a final polish or something.
But it was never meant to be this fucking big Hollywood release.
Yeah.
It was like crowdfunded, and at most, like, I've seen films that were crowdfunded, and I've done it with some documentaries and stuff, and all that, they don't even get a fucking Blu-ray release. Yeah. They're just like, here's your digital download. Thrown up on YouTube
or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, you can look at it before, it's thrown up on YouTube, or that they sell it to, or fucking lease it out to some streaming service. So, like, that was probably the initial idea with this, that it'd be. And it's like, some people are saying, oh, would it be better if it just showed up on Shudder instead of a theatrical release? It's like, no, it wouldn't, because it'd go to Shudder and it'd die. Yeah. Regardless of, like, say, what people think of the movie, at least it's after getting a lot of publicity from
exactly,
it, which is great. And that's part of, like, what he's doing. He's after managing to...
Yeah, he broke out of the YouTuber sort of box, I suppose, really,
So, yeah, I think, like, people that are saying it's shit, you're fucking wrong. It's not shit by any stretch of the imagination. It is not a bad film. It's not a poorly made film. You mightn't like it, but it's not shit. If you know what I mean. Like, if it's not your kind of bag. Like, you know, some people don't like horror movies. Yeah. So you can't say, alright, but then you go, I don't like horror movies. Don't mean it's a bad movie.
That's true. Yes, I don't like any kind of like romance movies, but a lot of them are very well made.
I fucking hate musicals. Fucking hate musicals. But South Park movie, I think, you kind of go, oh yeah, all right. Well, yeah. So look, I think maybe we wind it on. One thing I want to say, fucking, this is something like a grind gears moment. I was saying to you a while ago, it's like, you know, because magazines kind of who buys magazines anymore. I was like, I'd like to get back into like buying Empire or Total Film and stuff. I miss reading about movies like that and having the thing, because I don't even really go to websites too much anymore.
I know, and we used to buy Empire and Total Film every single month, to the point that we used to have like fucking stacks that would reach the ceiling. We used to have to recycle them every year.
But there was like some really good articles, and you'd find out about newer movies that like you might like foreign movies and stuff. So I got a trial on
subscription to Empire.
And
digital subscription.
God, after I read the Forrester News one, I was like, I skipped past so much that it was just fluff. Some of it feels like it was AI written. Not saying it was, but it feels like it was written by AI or helped by AI.
Yeah,
that they were just like pointless articles, things that I was just like, this is not Empire anymore. I cancelled the trial so I wouldn't get charged, because I was like, I'm not fucking. I'd say after reading about 2 or 3 magazines, and it was just really bad, like really bad. It's, I don't know. I think something like that you need to.
That's the thing. I do think journalism, unfortunately, is fucking gone the way of the dodo. Like, it just seems to be. There doesn't seem to be anybody out there like a acerbic wit or fucking away with writing or something like that. Everything does seem to have gone very homogenized or something like that. Probably because they want to be able to hit the rankings or something like that. So it's right. We've got to pepper it with these sort of fucking buzzwords, or like, SEO optimized or whatever.
All it seems to be is just a promotional thing for movies now. Like, whereas like, of course, you'd always like oh, we want to read like about like the newest upcoming movie and behind the scenes thing. The newest one was about He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, and I was like, oh, this is going to be
this is going to be in your wheelhouse, because you are such a fan.
There is nothing in it. Like, I mean, you get more off like someone on
a Wikipedia article.
It was just, and like, it's so like, it was about fucking 8 pages. But it was 8 pages filled with nothing. I'd say maybe like less than a paragraph of actual like content from the director. So, and it was just like, what is this is like, I mean, bar a couple of pictures which they would have showed even before the magazine came out online. It's just like, it's like a shame to see it gone. Like, I mean, if anyone's listening to this and they have any recommendations for like either websites or magazines that talk about like movies in like a fairly serious way, or give recommendations on foreign music or art or music, movies or art, please let us know. Check it out, definitely. But like, Empire is like, Jesus Christ, like, from all it was. But yeah, that's all. Just wanted to give out about Empire.
Just had to gripe about something. Fair enough.
But look, thank you for listening. Like I was saying, we're going to be talking about Hamburger Hill on Thursday, so
you're making me hungry by how much you're saying hamburgers.
Hamburger Hill, yeah. And then, if we're not back before then, the week after, Hot Rod we'll be talking about.
Yay!
So yeah, a bit of a fucking difference there. But so look, thanks again for listening, and until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.